Total is the leading oil and gas integrated company in Africa, and in fact, in many ways, it's one of the first movers in there. It's been in certain parts of sub-Saharan Africa for more than 60 years. Well, let's get an update now from the man who's running their operations there, the Secretary General for Africa, Abiodun Afolabi. You have got a very strong tradition of being in Africa, and in particular Angola. I mean, it wasn't the first place you went to, but it is still a very significant site.
In fact, we're very active in 4 countries in Africa. We're in 12 countries in the E&P activities in Africa in all. We're in 43 countries in Africa as a group, as a group. 4 of the major countries that we're in are Angola, as you mentioned, Nigeria, Gabon, and Congo. Angola and Nigeria are particularly important to us with regards to the production. The 2 of these countries represent 70% of our production in Africa. Our operated production in Africa is 1.2 million barrels per day. But all in all, the 4 countries are important to us, despite their production levels today.
Yeah, and perhaps a greater part of that, about 700,000 barrels a day roughly, is coming from Angola. I mean, that's been generating good revenue for some considerable time.
It has been generating good revenue for all the partners in that joint venture, as well as for the nation of Angola. We are the leading operator in Angola today, and it's been 60 years of a good cooperation between all the stakeholders in Angola.
Yeah, so it's a mature industry there. Where do you go next with it?
It's a mature industry, but it's an evolving industry. Our intention is to stay for the long run in our current operations in the countries that we're in. We a few years back, 4 or 5 years ago, we made a big step into East Africa by taking an interest in the Lake Albert asset in Uganda. I believe our intention is to try and develop a new pole in East Africa, starting with Uganda if possible.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, this expansion into East Africa. I mean, you're starting off with Uganda, but what's the strategy? How's it going to differ from the 4 places where you are at the moment?
That's hard to say. That's predicting the future. It's hard to say. But our intention is to hopefully find other assets, other prolific assets that we can produce from and organically grow our business in East Africa. Strategy-wise, it's nothing smarter than that or than that. It's really to grow through an expansion or acquisition, or organically growing through the assets that we have in East Africa.
Yeah. And that's going to be in both oil and gas?
It's in oil and gas. I think our CEO has mentioned that we are more and more becoming a gas company. So our hope is to expand in both oil and gas. Our hope is to hopefully be more involved in the gas sector in Africa. Hopefully with the changes in policies, we will be able to do such in Africa in the years to come.
And of course, there's a lot of talk here at the Oil and Gas Council about the need to get LNG, to get gas being consumed domestically, yes, because that's going to provide the power to generate the economic growth elsewhere in these countries.
Yes, absolutely, and Total is in accordance with a lot of that thinking. With regards to LNG, we are a very active player in LNG in Africa, of course through Nigerian LNG as well as through Angola LNG. So we are a very active gas player through in LNG. In domestic gas, we are making strides to become more active, as you said. Hopefully, with changes in policies and with the proliferation or expansion of infrastructure in gas, hopefully we'll be able to do likewise in the domestic markets elsewhere.
But you've been operating, as all companies have, in a challenging environment.
Yes.
The languishing oil price for a start.
Yes, yes.
And in some cases, political regimes that perhaps are less than helpful. I'm thinking particularly of Nigeria. Now there's now a new government there. Oil price is going up. What's your view about the landscape in Africa?
Okay. With regards to the regimes, I think, despite the regimes, despite the environment, we've been in Africa for 80 years, so we have an experience of being in Africa. We've learned, we've developed competencies in dialoguing with all stakeholders, be them state governments, local communities, major authorities, and we've managed, and I believe we've been successful in doing that. Nigeria today is a new regime. We hope for the best with this regime. We believe that the best will come of this regime, and we'll be able to continue to develop our projects successfully in Nigeria. I think the essential thing is dialogue. We continue to believe in it, and we continue to try and do as best as we can to dialogue with whoever the stakeholders are. And I think our success has been from exactly doing that.
All right. Abiodun, Afolabi, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay.